Hello, folks. It is Sunday, and I am doing an update to my Superpowers Classics collection. Um, this week, I got a package in the mail, and I finally got the Joker, um, who I was thinking was going to be a diff for this line. He tends to be expensive, and I was set on having to get a Joker figure that doesn't fit in this line, but I was going to be able to get a figure that was good enough to put in this line in place of this particular Joker. But this is actually the DC UC Joker that was specifically made as an homage to his Superpowers action figure from the 1980s. So far, this is Wave 1. This is a representation of Wave 1 of the original Superpowers collection from the 1980s. The figure missing is the Flash. There are 8 heroic characters, and then there were 4 villainous characters, kind of not balanced. And Flash is missing because I have him down here in the box, and I still haven't worked up the courage to break him out of the package. And then here are mostly Wave 2. These are all actually, besides the Flash, these are Wave 2 figures from the Superpowers collection. And I haven't worked up the courage. Somebody give me the courage to break these guys out of their package. So at some point, eventually, I will break the Flash out of his package, and I will put him up here with the rest of these characters. And Toyman here is not from the Superpowers collection, the vintage Superpowers collection. But my feeling on that first wave lineup, I'm kind of cheating here, is that there weren't that many villains. You know, there were twice as many heroes to the villains. And, you know, I feel like the villain lineup needs to be kind of beefed up. So Toyman is one of the figures I put up here. He's a Superman villain. So the original Superpowers lineup of villains for Wave 1 was 2 Superman villains. We're talking Brainiac and Lex Luthor, and 2 Batman villains. So the Penguin and the Joker. And that's it. Those were the villains for Wave 1. And, you know, Wave 2 was a little more robust as far as the villainous lineup. But because the Super Friends cartoon series is where this toy line was promoted, the Super Friends were on since the 70s. But when it came to the 80s and you had the whole craze with He-Man in 1982-83 launched this craze where you had the cartoon series and you had the toy line, and both were such a great combination. The cartoon series was fun, and then the toy line was collectible. So you watched the cartoon, then you went to the store and you bought the characters that you saw in the cartoon. So here we are. We had this cartoon series that came on every Saturday morning for the Justice League called the Super Friends. But you didn't have a toy line that went with it. So they came up with this crazy idea. Kenner came up with this crazy idea of, okay, let's do a toy line that goes with this cartoon series. And it actually turned out to be a success. 3 waves is a standard length for an action figure toy line of this type. You know, you get the initial launch wave, you get your peak wave with the second wave, and then you get your rollout or your closeout wave with the third wave. That's just a standard for these types of toy lines. If they go on longer than that, that just proves that it was more successful than expected. But the standard planning is, okay, we're going to do 3 waves for this thing. So, but I digress. Going back to wave 1 of Superpowers, the villainous lineup was it was only half of what the heroic lineup was. So I'm kind of cheating and fleshing it out. I've put Toyman in here. He's a Superman villain. But in the Super Friends cartoon series, he was part of the Legion of Doom, which was the villainous answer to the Justice League, the heroes. So right now I have 5 villains to the 8 heroes. Again, I have to open up Flash and put them up here. And so, because I'm going to go with the Legion of Doom theme, Penguin and Joker were not part of that original lineup in the cartoon series. But Luthor, Brainiac, and Toyman were. And the next character that I'm going to be adding to this lineup will be Cheetah, who is the counterpart to Wonder Woman. And, you know, Wonder Woman is, unfortunately, the sole female character of the entire Superpowers collection. Like, out of all 3 waves, there was only 1 female character released. And, you know, there were rumors that in wave 4 that never happened, Supergirl and Catwoman were going to be produced, and that they would expand on female representation in the toy line. But that 4th wave never came into being. The toy line closed out, and Wonder Woman is the only female character in the lineup. Well, there isn't any other representation of Wonder Woman in the Superpowers collection. You have a lot of Superman villains, and you have quite a few Batman villains. So it seemed appropriate for me, if I was going to try to bring the villainous line up, I would bring in Cheetah. And then I'm also thinking of bringing in Sinestro, who is a villain of Green Lantern. And that brings me to 7. And then I'm also thinking of bringing in, who was it? I think Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy would be number 8 as far as a villain. Or, yes, Solomon Grundy. I think I'm going to be bringing him in just to flesh out the Wave 1 lineup. And then I'm just going to pan down real quick to Wave 2. So far, you know. And then this is my Wave 3. I'm cheating here. And I brought in Supergirl. This is my favorite version of Supergirl from a different line. Shazam here is not a representation of his Superpowers version. There is a Shazam in the DCUC that looks more like his Superpowers figure, but I prefer this version of Shazam. It's a more palatable, plausible version of the character. And then we have Mary Marvel, who is not part of the Superpowers lineup, but again, bringing in some female representation. And then these are the 2 villains from Wave 3. We have Tyr and Mr. Freeze. And we have Riddler from the Super Amigos and Mixius Pitalik, who was planned for a Wave 4. So that is currently the state of my Superpowers collection. And at some point I'm going to be opening my boxed figures and putting them on display here to do better representation of the lineup. And when I do that, I'll do another video. So I've talked your ears off for now. I hope you're having a good Sunday, and ta-ta for now.